Making headlines. The administration announces the decision to bring amendments to the law banning Israeli passports. The president welcomes the decision to grant Palestine membership in the WHO and expand Palestinian rights. And the foreign ministry says that many SIDS want to visit the Maldives to see how the country runs and set it as an example. Welcome to the English News. I'm your host Malak Ahmad Fayaz. Now for the news in detail. The Maldives government decides to amend laws to restrict entry for individuals holding Israeli passports. In a decision announced following the cabinet meeting, the government stated that a special committee has been formed to oversee the matter. As such, the committee includes Minister of Homeland Security and Technology Ali Hussain, Minister of Foreign Affairs Musa Zamir, Minister of Islamic Affairs Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Saeed, Minister of Economic Development and Trade Muhammad Saeed, Minister of Tourism Ibrahim Faisal, and Attorney General Ahmad Usham. The decision marks a proactive stance by Maldives reflecting its condemnation of extremist human rights violations by Israel against the Palestinian population. The government aims to express solidarity within the Palestinian people and send a clear message of disapproval regarding the ongoing situation. Moreover, the decision of President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu to initiate discussions with Islamic countries regarding the ongoing Palestinian issue was also announced during the press briefing. The Maldives has long been a staunch advocate for the rights of Palestinians, consistently supporting their cause on the international stage. The nation has been vocal about its support for an independent Palestinian state for many years. Since President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu took office, these efforts have intensified, with the Maldives representing Palestine in various international forums. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu welcomes the decision to grant Palestine membership in the World Health Organization WHO, with its status in the United Nations, UN, and expand Palestinian rights. The WHO has granted Palestine membership. The historic decision at the World Health Assembly ended with a vote that included the Maldives. It will give Palestine many rights that it has never had before. In a post on social media, President Dr. Muizzu said that the Maldives is among the 101 countries that voted to grant Palestine membership in the 77th World Health Assembly. He said that it is a sign of growing international support for recognition of Palestine as an independent state. He also welcomed the decision. Additionally, President Dr. Muizzu said that the people of the Maldives fully support Palestine's rights and full membership in international organizations. He said that it is why the Maldives supported the decision to grant Palestine membership in the WHO. He also said that the decision is an important step towards establishing peace. Meanwhile, Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif also welcomed the decision. He said the Maldives' support shows that the country is committed to the rights of Palestinians. The Maldives has co-sponsored the proposal to grant Palestine membership in the World Health Assembly. Minister of Foreign Affairs Musa Zamir said the decision was a sign of the world's support for Palestinian rights. In a social media post, he said that the decision will give Palestine the right to make statements, submit proposals, and co-sponsor issues at the WHO. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says that many island developing states, SIDS, wants to visit the Maldives to see how the country runs and set it as an example. Speaking to PSMNEWS Foreign Secretary, Multilateral Ahmad Shian highlighted the achievements of the recent Small Island Conference, SIDS. He said that the Maldives' role in the conference has been praised by many countries around the world. He also said that other small countries that attended the seminar also had high expectations of the Maldives. Additionally, Shian said that President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu met with several leaders, countries during the SIDS conference, and they noted the achievements of the Maldives. He said that the Maldives has expressed its desire to follow the example of small countries. He also said that the president's meeting have also expressed the desire of some countries as leaders to visit the Maldives. Furthermore, Xian said that the safe island concept is now a worldwide phenomenon. He said that although the Maldives is not a very rich country, there are things that other small countries can do to help in such matters. He also said the government is considering ways to assist countries in poorer circumstances than the Maldives. Minister of Economic Development and Trade Mohammed Said states that Business Centre Corporation BCC will play a pivotal role for the development of the nation's economy. The statement was made by the minister during the staff gala night held to celebrate the 7th anniversary of BCC. Speaking at the event, Minister Said revealed the primary objective of promoting national products via BCC's Authentic Maldives. Stressing the significance of strengthening the corporation, the minister suggested the development of various factories to achieve this goal. On this stance, he highlighted the ongoing initiatives encompassing feasibility assessments and pertinent studies aimed at establishing a straw production facility. Furthermore, Minister Said unveiled the intentions of the administration to develop a garment factory, underscoring the necessity of securing market viability preceding the factory's establishment. The minister disclosed the plans of President Dr. Mohammed Muizu to privatize enterprises and establish public-private partnership ties, emphasizing that the trade agreement signed with China will be implemented this year. Minister Said expressed confidence in accessing a larger market. The minister additionally revealed that efforts are underway to develop a quality standard infrastructure aiming to enhance the quality of imported goods. In addition to China, Minister Said highlighted the ongoing efforts to enter free trade agreements with India. Minister of Education Dr. Ismail Shafiu underscores the crucial importance of education and perfect upbringing in cultivating a prosperous society. The remarks were made by the minister during the ceremony held to launch the Cool School project. The special ceremony took place in Mafushi School, Kafatol. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Dr. Shafiu emphasized the pivotal role of education in fostering student success, increasing the influx of skilled youths into the workforce, and fortifying familial bonds. The minister reiterated the firm commitment of the administration to furnish adequate resources to fortify the educational framework. He revealed that the project to install air conditioners in all schools aimed to achieve this overarching goal. Furthermore, Minister Dr. Shafiu highlighted the project's potential benefits for students and educators alike, envisioning a transformation of the school environment into a joyful atmosphere conducive to enhancing children's discipline. The minister disclosed that the installation of the ACs in all government schools, despite being an expensive project, will be launched following the belief of President Dr. Mohammed Muizu. The president believes that expenditures aimed at bolstering the educational system are investments with enduring value. The government aims to install AC in all government schools with air conditioning units by the commencement of the 2026 academic year. Minister of Finance Dr. Mohammed Shafiq announces that projects worth $162 million have been awarded over the past 6 months. These remarks were made during a press conference where he provided insights into the ministry's work since the new government took office. During the press conference, Minister Shafiq emphasized the present administration has placed special priority on developmental projects, highlighting that 20% of the $162 million in projects awarded was specifically allocated to the health sector. Moreover, Minister Shafiq also shed light on the administration's diligent efforts to harmonize pay across government bodies, underscoring it to be one of the central objectives. He reported that pays have been harmonized into government bodies according to prior plans, with 46% of pay now harmonized. Additionally, the minister noted that the Ministry of Finance, like other state-owned bodies, is required to work closely with foreign administrations and associations to strengthen relationships with global financial institutions. He further affirmed that the Maldivian administration is currently collaborating with the International Monetary Fund, IMF, World Bank and Asian Development Bank, ADB, to gain expertise and knowledge. Efforts to reform state-owned companies to reduce operating costs are also being carried out with the advice of these financial bodies. Maldives Monetary Authority MMA reports a surge in international airlines to the nation within the first 4 months of the year. This was indicated through the monthly statistics report of MMA. The report outlines that the international airlines flying to the Maldives have significantly increased within the first 4 months of the year in comparison to the same duration in 2023. As such, a total of 5,982 flights scheduled have traveled to Velana International Airport, VIA, during these 4 months. Meanwhile, reports show that in 2023, the flight movement was notably low for the same period with only 5,841 flights. This year, the general flight movement was recorded to be 604. Furthermore, the reports of MMA sheds light on the increase in tourist arrivals within the first 4 months of the year. While over 700,000 tourists have flocked the country as tourists, a total of 5,449 bed nights were recorded. During this period, a total of 175 resorts actively operated and the occupancy rate was 72.7%. This is a notable increase from the occupancy rate of 2023 during this period, which was 69.5%. The spouse of the Vice President Aishat Afrin Mohammed highlights the need for providing comprehensive information about the changes that occur in the body during adolescence, emphasizing its significance for children's health. These remarks were made speaking at the ceremony commemorating World Menstrual Hygiene Day, celebrated to address the systemic changes and cultural stigma surrounding menstruation while advocating for increased awareness. During her address, Afrin stressed the importance of providing accurate and age-appropriate information to adolescents regarding the physical and biological changes their bodies undergo as they grow. She stressed that such knowledge is essential for both young girls and boys to maintain good health throughout their development. Furthermore, Afrin underscored that menstruation is a natural process for women and urged parents and guardians not to feel ashamed or hesitant to discuss it with their children in an appropriate manner. She further reiterated the importance of building a close and trusting relationship with children, facilitating open communication, and allows for discussions about changes in their bodies. Additionally, Afrin shed light on the significance of maintaining good hygiene practices for overall health. She encouraged parents to support young girls in adopting healthy eating habits, engaging in regular exercise, and maintaining physiological well-being and hygiene practices during menstruation. Palestine achieves a significant milestone by becoming a member of the World Health Organization, WHO. The conclusion of the World Health Assembly, WHA, marked this historic moment with Palestine gaining all the rights afforded to other countries within the WHO except for voting. Notably, Palestine's membership was made possible by the support of Maldives, among other countries. In a social media post, Minister of Health Dr. Abdullah Khalil highlighted Maldives' advocacy for Palestine rights during the WHA in line with President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu's directive. Minister Khalil represented Maldives at the assembly held in Geneva, Switzerland. During his address, Minister Khalil reiterated Maldives' unwavering support for Palestine, condemning the acts of genocide and terror directed towards its people. He called on the WHO to increase its support to Palestine, particularly in ensuring the safety of healthcare workers and facilities amid ongoing conflicts. Moreover, the minister also condemned the extreme terror attacks by Israel and urged for legal avenues to support Palestine. Maldives participated in the vote, aligning its stance with improving healthcare conditions in Palestine. The 77th WHA-themed All for Health, Health for All, convened ministers from 192 countries. This assembly provided a vital platform for discussions on global health challenges and prioritized areas for future action. Managing Director of the Maldives Hajj Corporation, MHC, Mohammad Shakil, says the corporation is working to reduce the cost of the Hajj pilgrimage for Maldivians to a maximum of $3,200. Speaking to PSMNEWS, Shakil said that the expenditure of the people for the Hajj pilgrimage for the Maldives is a pledge made by President Dr. Mohammad Moizu. He said he was working to fulfill the President's request. As such, he said that work is now being done to reduce the price of Hajj pilgrimages within the next 3 years. He also said the current fare is $4,500 but is working to reduce the fare to $3,200 in the future. Noting that the MHC is currently running at a loss, Shakil said he is working to make the company a profitable company. He said that they have started to enter the real estate business. He said that the company also aims to increase its revenue by increasing the number of individuals it takes to Umrah. He also said that efforts are being made to increase the company's income by arranging services for pilgrims on behalf of other organizations. The government has decided to give the Hajj quota only to the MHC to reduce the queue and charge more money for Hajj pilgrimages. Minister of Islamic Affairs Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Said said that private groups will be given the opportunity to take people for Hajj in order of those on the list of the MHC. French Economy Minister Bruno Le Maire says he was determined to seek billions of dollars in new government spending cuts after ratings agency Standard & Poor's downgraded France's credit score. The U.S. agency justified its decision to drop France's long-term sovereign debt rating from AA to AA- on concerns over lower-than-expected growth. S&P is among a host of agencies and economists to cast doubt on the government vow to cut its budget deficit to under 3% of gross domestic product GDP by 2027. Le Maire launched a media campaign after Friday's announcement to defend the government's spending record. He vowed to continue exactly on the same path without accelerating or slowing in a video posted on YouTube. In interviews with French media, Le Maire ruled out tax increases. But he said no decision had been made on delinking pensions and other social benefits from the inflation rate. The minister put the priority on reducing France's more than 450 billion euros in state spending each year. He highlighted 10 billion euros in spending cuts decided at the start of the year and said he was determined to find another 10 billion in savings in 2024. The government does not have a parliamentary majority, and Le Maire said that S&P decision had to open the eyes of French lawmakers on the need for savings. S&P warned that political fragmentation would make it difficult for the government to implement reforms to balance public finances and forecast the budget deficit would remain above the targeted 3% of GDP in 2027. But a rise in the second-largest EU economy's public deficit for 2023 to 5.5% of GDP, instead of a predicted 4.9%, had raised the alarm for many rating agencies. France's general government debt will increase to about 112% of GDP by 2027, up from around 109% in 2023, contrary to their previous expectations. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky accuses China of working hard to stop countries from going to a peace summit, which Beijing has publicly criticized, being Russia is not invited.
Mr. Zelensky, how was the meeting, sir?
President Volodymyr Zelensky made the remarks at a security forum in Singapore as he sought to rally support for the conference and appealed for more military aid for Ukraine, which has been ceding ground to Russian troops. China, unfortunately, is working hard today to prevent countries from coming to the peace summit, Zelensky told reporters on the sidelines of the Shangri-La dialogue, which draws defense officials from around the world. Beijing believes the conference should have the recognition of Russia and Ukraine, equal participation of all parties and fair discussion of all peace plans, Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Mao Ning told a regular news conference on Friday. She said that otherwise it is difficult for the conference to play a substantive role in restoring peace. Zelensky also expressed disappointment that some world leaders had not signed up to the conference, with China signaling Xi Jinping will not attend, while US President Joe Biden is yet to commit. China said it would be difficult for it to attend if Russia did not participate, which Ukraine has rejected. Through the peace summit, Kiev hopes to win broad international backing for its vision of the terms needed to end Russia's war. Zelensky said on Sunday that more than 100 countries and organizations had signed up to the conference, and he urged Asia-Pacific nations to join. The peace summit threatens to be overshadowed if key Ukraine backer Biden, who is locked in an election campaign against Donald Trump and has given no sign he would participate, ultimately stays away. Zelensky said China was a tool in Putin's hands and accused Russia of using Chinese influence and diplomats to do everything to disrupt the peace summit. Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti says his team would be back for more silverware with the same hunger next season, after claiming a record-extending 15 Champions League trophy at Wembley. Los Blancos held off Borussia Dortmund and then struck twice through Dani Carvajal and Vinicius Jr. to secure a 2-0 victory. The Italian lifted the trophy for a record-extending 5th time as a coach, and his players jubilantly tossed him into the air during the celebrations. He said that his target is to try to repeat the same emotion that they have the week after this game, and this is the target. He added that he has the luck to be at the best club in the world. The coach said he rated the team's performance this season as 10 out of 10 after severe injuries to several key players, including David Alaba, Eder Militao, and Thibaut, the latter of whom started the final. Madrid, who completed a La Liga and Champions League double for the 5th time in their history, are Spain's dominant force. That advantage may be further increased by the signing of France striker Kylian Mbappe at the end of his Paris Saint-Germain deal, a move expected to be announced in the coming days. Madrid will lose German midfield metronome Toni Kroos, retiring from football after Euro 2024. Ancelotti said that as they have always done, they adapt to the characteristics of the players that they have to be competitive. Ancelotti said coming back to Madrid for a second stint in charge was a gift for him, having returned in 2021. The Italian said he was delighted to be at a family club with his son David Ancelotti operating as his assistant. He said that there's a healthy, clean environment, and working in a family is a lot better than working in an industry. China's Chang'e 6 lunar probe successfully lands on the far side of the moon to collect samples, state media reported, the latest lead for Beijing's decades-old space program. The Chang'e 6 set down in the immense South Pole Attican Basin, one of the largest known impact craters in the solar system, state news agency Xinhua said, citing the China National Space Administration. It marks the first time that samples will be collected from the rarely explored area of the moon, according to the agency. The Chang'e 6 is on a technically complex 53-day mission that began on May 3rd. On Sunday, it descended from its orbit about 200 kilometers above the moon to scour the surface for landing site. Wang Wu, an official at the China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation, told state broadcaster CCTV. Wang said that the descent to a lower orbit carried a few risks, so they needed precise control procedures to put the probe onto its preset trajectory. After that, he said that they had to rapidly reduce the probe's relative speed to the moon to zero within 15 minutes, requiring a huge amount of propellant, basically half the probe's entire weight. Now that the probe has landed, it will attempt to scoop up lunar soil and rocks and carry out other experiments in the landing zone. That process should be complete within 2 days, Xinhua said. The probe will use 2 methods of collection, a drill to collect samples under the surface and a robotic arm to grab specimens from the surface. Then it must attempt an unprecedented launch from the side of the moon that always faces away from Earth. Scientists say the moon's dark side, so-called because it is invisible from Earth, not because it never catches the sun's rays, holds great promise for research because its craters are less covered by ancient lava flows than the near side. That's all the news we have for today. Thank you all for watching.
Assalamualaikum dunia kalige molinga program kamar haba danawang dunia kalige miudige program ai ki badal kollegan Hafiz Absadar dunia kalige mi program ki algan meng dunia ke mashrum fa ko leve muhimu kan taka bala lage neste program e gatun kom mi programes waki maulo ka mi hasa kolani miudige program